What's up, loves? It's your girl London, and I'm coming to you with a frontal tutorial. And this one is a little bit different. I wanted to do one because, of course, we always get those great frontals and we start tweezing them and we thin them out and we lay the baby hairs and everything comes out great. But this frontal is a little bit different. This frontal is a store-bought frontal. So if any of y'all have ever purchased the store-bought frontals, y'all know what they look like. They have like that Steve Harvey lineup. It's very boxy, very square. It's not a whole lot of shape. It's unrealistic. Well, my client purchased it as a last-minute thing, and she has, I want to say, female pattern baldness. I don't know that it's per se alopecia, but it's thin around the area, around her hairline, and in some areas there's no hair. So we had done a closure before in the past, and that went well. The only thing about a closure is that usually you place your closure wherever you want your parting to be, and then that's it. You know, it's center, side, and that's it. Well, she liked the style where she could kind of tuck it behind her ear, and she wants to be able to show a little bit of a hairline, but she did not want the maintenance of a full frontal. And when it comes to pleasing our customers or our clients, we have to be very honest about what the expectations are. And a lot of these clients get these frontals thinking, oh, it looks so great, it looks so simple, and then they don't realize the work that really comes behind it with the rebonding and regluing and all that other good stuff. So what I did was I actually cut the closure, the frontal, not in half, but I cut it in 2/3. So a third of the frontal I removed. And so it's about up to here. So she has the frontal from here to here. And then on this side, I just filled in with tracks. So I parted on the heavier side where most of the hair was, combed it over, filled it in with tracks, and then I tucked the side in. You'll see where I tweezed the frontal. I did not go really in depth. She didn't want it to be really thin and fine, and she didn't really care for like all the baby hairs and stuff. She's an older woman. So definitely want to keep her dignified and want to keep the look, mature. So for that reason, I just lightly tweezed it just to soften the hairline so that it would not look over tweezed. So that's the disclaimer before y'all put it in the comment section or suggest that I should have done a little bit more. She did not want that. And I'm okay with that. At the end of the day, it's about pleasing the clients. I do not know why I am out of focus right now. There we go. Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to keep you any further. I want to get into this video. I hope that you like it. I'll try to be as detailed as I can in it as far as particular methods that I used and why. But again, if not, put it in the comment section and I will answer it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. Make sure that you like this video and share it, of course. And without further ado, let's get started. Bye, loves. All right, loves, here's my client. And right now I'm going to do the braid down process so that we can install the frontal. In this first anchor braid, I start and I bring it all the way around to the back. This is the store-bought hair that she brought in. And as you can see, that hairline is just, yeah, say no more. But we're going to go ahead and make it work anyhow. So I'm going to have her hold that in place, and I'm actually going to draw a line or section out the part of the hair that needs to be braided differently in order to anchor the closure. So right now I'm braiding across her forehead as opposed to going straight back. And I'm going to go back and forth in about a zigzag pattern because right up top the hair is thin there as well. And so this just gives me more braid coverage for the purpose of sewing the wefts on after I've already anchored her frontal. This is just a little oil for her scalp. Of course, we want to make certain that we do that. And I'm using my crochet needle just to link the loose ends. Right now, this is the latex protectant that I use in mostly all of my quick weave videos. And I did this prematurely. Usually I do the latex afterwards and I measure out the frontal first. I don't know what I was thinking or doing. But on that side is where I'm going to cut about a third of the frontal off. That is it. Just making sure everything is lined up properly. Now I'm adding some loose powder, the same color as her skin tone, on top of the protectant to keep it put. This is instead of using a stocking cap, which over time actually rolls and peels away from the scalp. So this is just going to give her permanent coverage as long as she has the frontal on. Now adding the frontal on, it is already attached to my stocking cap, which has a elastic band in the back. And because I'm not doing the frontal from ear to ear, this is going to allow the frontal to stay really taut, which is really good because this prevents you from having to rely solely on glues or the gel to keep the hairline down. So it'll keep the frontal a lot more snug and a lot less maintenance for her, and the only thing she'll have to worry about is just the little area that's right over her ear. This is what it looks like from the back, and then this is the other side, and I'm going to add wefts or tracks to all of that open area. You can cut the ear out before or after you begin to sew the closure down. I just chose to do it before. And then I'm going to sew the back end of the frontal. This is going to prevent it from moving when I start to sew the wefts. Now starting to sew the wefts, I'm going to start right behind her ear, a little bit above, and I'm going to do a U shape back and forth. And as I get to about the center of her head, where the occipital bone is, then I'm going to go back and forth. So you definitely want to create that U shape at first, and then you're going to go back and forth from ear to ear until you make it to the top. And this is going all the way around over the ear on the left side. To make cutting easier, I went ahead and razored the back of the hair before I was completely done, and this just gives you less hair to have to deal with. It also creates a guideline that's easier to see when you're cutting less hair as opposed to a lot. Now I'm tweezing the parting and some of the hairline, and as you can see, it's already starting to look a little softer. I'm not going to do too much more than what you see here. I do this right before I finish her cut just to see how it's going to lay and how it looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish razoring her cut, and then I'll go in and do my notch cutting, and this is to give more texture and a more layered effect in the back. Now if you see here, this is all the client is going to have to deal with as far as to maintenance the style. So it's going to make the process a lot easier as opposed to doing a full frontal hairline. Now for install, however, I'm going to use my Ghost Bond, I believe it is, and I am going to do a little higher up. So I'm going to pull the cap back just a little bit. I'm going to do the full 2/3, and then I'm going to secure it. However, the only part that she's literally going to have to deal with is going to be that little area that's right above the ear. I tied the hair down with the neck strip, and now I'm going to go in and start to flat iron. Sometimes you get frontals that are bulky at the hairline, which means the hair isn't laying very flat to the head. So with my wand curling iron, I'm just using that to lay a little bit of heat right at the base of the frontal so that it will lay more flat and more natural. You can also use a straightening comb, and I used a wax stick in between as well, and that's just for added security. With my Got to Be Clear gel, I'm just going to put a little bit right at the hairline with the freeze spray and sweep it around. So not necessarily creating baby hairs, but just a little bit of a swoop there, kind of more of a natural effect, as you can see here. And it's still a little damp. I really should have put my dryer on it, but I didn't. Just for the sake of just kind of being done with the process, it will definitely dry on its own. And I hope you can somewhat see here, this is the finished look. Okay, love, so I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that, her face being blurred out wasn't that big of a distraction, and you could get a gist of the actual service that I provided. If you like it, thumbs it up. Don't forget to subscribe. And until I see you in my next videos, bye, loves. Also, don't forget, follow me on my social medias.